What's up, everybody? Welcome to 5 Picks in 5 Minutes. I am Chris Raybon here with Grant Neefer and Kyle Murray. For all of our picks, there's a link in the episode description with our bets. You can quickly and easily add it to your bet slip. Grant, you're up first. Pick number 1. Where are we going?
I'm going with RJ Harvey, 30-plus receiving yards. You can find this around plus 350 to plus 390. He's been receiving the ball. He's been racking up the yards a lot recently. 27, 20, 9, and 51. Ironically, the 9 was against the Raiders, but the Raiders run zone at a massive clip. Harvey is the highest yards per route run on the team versus zone. 30 yards is a little bit too low. Without Dobbins in there, he's going to play a decent amount of snaps. If the Broncos can somehow make the Raiders keep this game close, then he should be easily in for this. Even if they don't, still a decent shot he gets it.
Yeah, Raiders about an 80% zone coverage rate this year. That's about as high as anyone in the league. Kyle, where are you going?
Yeah, staying in that same game, I'm looking at Pat Bryant. We're going to go an alt play here. 50-plus receiving yards. Best odds on this one are at plus 375. Next best plus 266 on DraftKings. Love this spot for Pat Bryant. I think he's just not quite getting enough respect for what he's been putting out on tape and also in the stat sheets over the past few weeks. He's essentially taken over as that wide receiver 2 role, but this is a pretty tight wide receiver core in terms of where targets are being distributed to. He had 7 targets last week, ran the second most routes amongst wide receivers, so he's actually being priced below guys like Troy Franklin still, and I don't know if that's exactly correct here, so I like it. Plus 50 plus receiving yards here in the spot against Raiders, and a lot of things that Grant said also align here for Bryant.
Yeah, they traded Vayway at the beginning of the year. I think to get Bryant more snaps around this time, it also allows Mims to not have to play as much offense too. I'm gonna go with Michael Wilson touchdown here. You could get this anywhere from about plus 175 to plus 220, and I really like him in this game against the Rams. Should be a come from behind script, and you have Marvin Harrison out again, and you have Greg Dortch out this time, and Dortch has scored a couple of times in those games that Marvin was out as well. So I have Michael Wilson with just 3 expected touchdowns in the games Jacoby Brissett started alone. So I think he is way undervalued in the touchdown market, especially considering everyone that's out. Grant, pick number 2. Let's finish off with a banger. What you got?
Oh, God, I keep betting every single week, and it's disappointed me, but still been profitable in the season betting. And Jordan Addison to score a touchdown, plus 275. You can find him at. He's only got 3 touchdowns on the season in 9 games, but being over plus 200 virtually all of them. It's made you some money. Has 22 touchdowns in 41 career games. McCarthy, I know he is absolute hot garbage, but the Commanders are not a good pass defense. Daniels coming back, should be able to make them put up some points here, so they're likely going to be trailing, likely going to have to force J.J. McCarthy to throw, which no one wants to see, but it's going to have to happen. Addison, he's a touchdown merchant. He should get one here at plus 275.
All right, Kyle, what we got? Finish this off.
Yeah, I'm going to Devin Neal. I took him last week, and he kind of backdoored this play for me in that week. But over 16.5 receiving yards is the baseline. I'm taking it on an alt line here, 30 plus. Like this spot quite a bit for Devin Neal, who continues to ramp up in terms of his snaps. When Alvin Kamara played 82% of snaps last week, ran the 3rd most routes on the team. He only had 3 targets, but I think that was actually a bit of an outlier. I think we could see a 5, 6, 7 plus target game for him here in this spot against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are allowing the most receiving yards per game to opposing running backs. And again, with the Saints sitting at 8.5-point underdogs, expecting a lot of pass volume for this Saints team, I think Devin Neal could benefit from that. And again, even if he doesn't have a consistent game throughout, we've seen a couple of times already this year where he backdoors there on that last drive or 2 of the game as the Saints are kind of in catch-up mode or just in dump off time. So I like the alt line here for Devin Neal at 30 plus receiving yards at plus 240.
You see a lot of design screens against the Bucs too, because they blitz so much, so that could get him a big chunk right there. All right, you parlay RJ Harvey, Michael Wilson touchdown, and Patty Bryant receiving yards with the RJ Harvey receiving yards, alt lines. And you get 40 to 1 to 62 to 1, depending where you look. So a very juicy parlay there. That was 5 picks in 5 minutes for Grant Neefer and Kyle Murray. I am Chris Raybon. Let's get this money.